Okay, I'm just doing little short video collaging videos, and this one is about using old book pages for your substrate or for your surface for your collaging. Collaging, regular collaging is just gluing paper onto other paper. And there's many ways you can do it. There's all kinds of different kinds of papers you can use. But I like using the just an old piece of paper. Now this is an old book I got at I think I got this at an old bookstore. And I just want to show you, there's a few things I want to show you about old paper. Now there's a patina to it, sort of. It's, it's kind of yellowed, which I really like. And when you think about what you're going to use for your substrate, think about how also, if you plan on selling them or giving them away as gifts, you want to think about the paper itself and how it will look. Now I like the cream color, so I am going to be selling some of these paintings or collages, and I like the cream, and I bought some cream mat boards and backboards to put them on so they'll look nice. Now, in old books, they're going to be, of course, they're all going to be a standard size. I think this is 5.5 by 7.5, or there could be, I think that's the size more or less. And if you get an old book, you'll also notice they just fall apart, which is good and bad, obviously. And you'll see a lot of pages, they're torn here, but you're doing collaging. You're putting paper on paper. So you could do if you have like a piece of paper, which this is a fine substrate for a paper collage, you can either cover it with one of your design elements, or you can double this up. You can put this paper and glue it, like here they have the same, you could glue it like this. So you have a ripped part here and a ripped part over here. No, you don't have, where's the ripped part on this side? The ripped part there. And you can glue these two pieces of paper together using a stick glue, or using medium, what do you call it, gel medium, or white glue, liquid glue. So whenever you put something on top of something that's maybe torn a little bit, it'll strengthen the page. So you don't have to discard these little rips, or if some of the pages are turned but they're still intact, you can still use those. So that's one thing to consider. Now, when you get an old book, it comes like this. I've been breaking it up. What you look for, I don't know if you can see it on, let me see if you can see it on the, yeah, in the video. But if you look carefully, you'll see that the book consists of signatures. Like this is a section, and there's many sections. As you open it up, you'll see there's another section here. Here's another section, right? Let's see if we can divide that up. Look at it carefully and see where that other section comes and goes. Now, when you find a section, like right here's a section, you take that, open up the book, and in the middle of this, you open it up and you'll see where it's sewn together. So this one signature is just sewn together. And what you can do is you can rip these. Now this is over 100. This is almost 100 years old. Just take the string off, cut the string off. Now some old books are glued together, but this one is there is some glue on it, but it's mostly just they use thread in the book. And then you pick them out, and they come out very easily. And then you can just rip them. You can rip by hand, or you can just take a ruler and just rip it with a ruler. Now, I would look at each one to see how it is, the integrity of each piece. And there's nothing, I don't have to, there's a little, looks like a little rip here. So I could put a collage piece over that, or I could just put another piece under that to reinforce it. And then this generates many pages, many pages that I could then work on. some of this is sticking. I'm not sure why, but it is sticking. And so then this looks pretty good. So I'm just collecting, I'm harvesting papers for my substrate. Now here is a fold, and it's on both sides. Again, the folds aren't as major of a concern. You can, you collage over it, or you can put, if you wanted to reinforce it, you could put two pages together. Just make sure the folds aren't in the same spot. So when you collect papers in collaging, it's called harvesting. So we're just harvesting the background, and that's the way of doing it. Now, when you use papers, especially from old books, I mean, this book was 335 pages, so that was a lot of pages I have access to here. And if you want to, you can consider what's written on the page and use that as part of the collage. Also, now the thing about using old paper is it is a little brittle. It can be brittle. It's not gonna be able to hold a lot of medium. If I were to paint this, let's say put some acrylic paint on it, that might not. It might seep into it as watercolor paint would seep into it, and so that might limit the different things you could do with a base that's just old paper. Now, one way of getting around that is by using gesso and gessoing whatever part you want to gesso, or using a clear gesso for the whole page. A clear gesso is a primer, but you would be able to still see all the words. So it would strengthen the paper, and then it would be able to hold other types of medium like watercolor, gouache, gel medium, all that stuff. But if you're just gluing onto paper onto paper, this is a fine substrate. This will work just fine. So I've been using this, and as I said in my other video, I use it because I like the color of it. I like the fact that every piece is the same size. I like the fact that I can think about how I'm going to mount them, and I like the beigey look of it. So I really like this. But it does have limitations if you want to do more than just glue paper on paper. There is limitations with the actual paper, since it is old, and it's can be brittle, and it can't take a lot of medium. So that's something also to consider when you're thinking about using old pieces of paper. The other thing is you can use new pieces of paper. You can take a new book that has stronger paper, and but I think you still have problems with the medium if you just start to put other kinds of things besides gluing papers on the page. So that is just my little short video on using old book papers for your substrate on your collages. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.